Good morning. I'm so happy to see you all. It feels like a reunion. It feels like I haven't seen you guys for ages, even though we've been in the WhatsApp chat. It's beautiful to see your faces. I'm so happy that you're here. How's everyone doing? Jumping into the new year. It's so funny. My friend, my very good dear friend Emily, who is also self-employed and runs her own very successful business. She's a stilt walker. She runs a business um sending stilt walkers in the most incredible costumes that she personally creates to different events. And she always says the new year doesn't start till the beginning of February. Chinese New Year is the true new year because, especially in Australia, she lives in New Zealand. January is just a weird holidays, um, everything, everyone's off school. It's all just slow to start up. So it's a bit different for you, Kat. But for us, yeah, January is like your August, I think. So we're all just kind of slowly getting back into it. Um, oh, Annika's got no sound. Everyone else can hear me, right? Yeah, good, good. All right. Okay. Well, let's jump in because we've got an hour. I definitely want to spend some time with each of you. But first of all, I want to tell you a few things about what's happening in Bhakti business and just in my business in general. And, I'm always really transparent with you guys about sharing this stuff, partly because I want to keep you updated with what's happening, but also I think it's really helpful for you to learn from what I'm doing in my business. As you know, Victoria Washington's a huge mentor of mine and others, Elena Brower and Kaya Minderlin. And I watch their businesses and what's going on in their businesses and learn, I think, as much from, particularly with Victoria, as much from how she runs her business and what she's doing as what she's actually teaching me, if that makes sense. Because she's so accomplished in her business and she's like a level above me where I would like to be. So it's a really beautiful place for me to kind of watch her. And I feel like for you guys, where I'm at in my business and my world is similar. Like I'm, for most of you, just a little step above what you're working towards. And so it's, I hope, inspiring and helpful. And I'm not saying that in a egotistical way. I'm just saying that in a way of like, it's always useful to observe what others are doing and to just look up a little bit and see what those who are kind of in a place where you'd like to be are. So for me, this year is going to be all about membership. And it's so serendipitous. I can't even tell you, last year I signed up for Victoria Washington's CEO Files, which is a business training. It goes for 9 months. And it was a big investment for me. It was $6,000, which was a lot of money for me to take out of my budget. And it's been so worth it. It's been amazing. I've learned so much. It runs till March. I'm still in it. I've learned about, financials and structures and marketing and just heaps of different things. So it really worth the investment. This year, I decided that I wasn't going to do any more business training because I really don't need to do any right now. I'm just gonna focus on continuing to do what I'm already doing and do some other training around my own personal interest in Ayurveda and women's work and what have you. So non-business related training. And I'd allocated all my budget for that and decided what I was going to do. And then at the end of last year, I was planning out 2024, exactly as I encouraged you guys to do. I sat down for a few different sessions and mapped out exactly what I wanted this year to look like month by month, what I'd be offering, all of that strategy stuff. And I realized that I'm actually going to retire and you're the first to hear this publicly. I'm actually going to retire my two biggest programs, Ayurveda Goddess and Yoga of Birth. They've been my bread and butter for a very long time, like 4 years. So there's a few reasons for that. And the main reason is that I want to do some different things. I've got some fresh energy. I've got some new ideas. I want to launch some new training programs. And I just feel like they've done their dash. I know they could still make me money. I could still market them and sell them. And they're good trainings and I love them. But energetically, I really feel like it's time for me to do something different and new and at least pause those. So they may come back in different iterations. I'm definitely not done with Ayurveda or birthing, but those particular programs in those particular incarnations I'm going to let them go. And when I do that, which will be around April, I'm going to do a final sale, and there'll be like it'll be like the sort of last chance to buy them type thing. Another reason I'm letting those two programs go, and you guys know this, is that I got stuck in a culture of discounting, and a lot of those two programs I sold discounted to many people. And now I'm not discounting anymore. It feels uncomfortable to be selling them at full price and really pushing for that when I know that so many people got them on a discounted rate. And so again, I can pause them, have a break probably for the rest of the year, and then relaunch them or recreate them at a different price point without the discounting model. So it's part of my working myself out of the hole of the heavy discounting that I kind of got into. And that said, I'm going to do that with a discount when they go for their final hurrah. So that's one thing. And then when I was planning all of that, I realized the thing I really want to focus on is memberships and the Bhakti Business Group program. I love running memberships so much. So I have two memberships. I have Bhakti Club, which is from Bhakti Rose, and then I have this membership, which is the Bhakti Business membership. And there's so many reasons why memberships work for me. I guess the three main ones are recurring income, which is just, beautiful to have that predictable. And it's a small amount from each person, but when there's larger numbers, it builds up. So that's really cool. The second thing is, because even though I'm very pitta, I do have a bit of vata in my professional kind of realm. And it means that I'm a prolific creator, and I always have lots of things I want to share. And it's exhausting if I have to constantly be creating new programs all of the time for all of those things I want to share. So the memberships are like this beautiful place where I get to place all of the things that are on my mind and in my heart that I want to share without having to create new programs all the time. It's like, sign up for this and you'll get all the stuff that's juicy and alive for me right now, whether it's in business or in yoga and Ayurveda. And yeah, I don't have to keep creating new programs, but I know I'm always going to be creating new content because that's just the way I am. So that feels like a real relief. It's like, oh, I can have lots of ideas and follow all the shiny objects that I want to follow in my work and creativity. And I've got a place to put them, and I'm being paid to put them in this place. And I don't have to keep creating new, although I have got a couple of new offers coming up as well, new programs, but I don't have to keep making all these little small programs. I can just put them in a membership. So that feels amazing. And then the other thing about the membership is, and this is why I just want to caveat this because it may not be the right model for some of you. It only really works when you've got a certain number in your community. Like, you actually do, I've realized, have to get to a critical number. And I think it's like, I'm not going to put a number on it because I don't actually know. That's bullshit. I don't know. But several thousand on an email list or in Instagram before a membership becomes viable, because otherwise you're always going to have people joining, but you're always going to have people leaving. That's part of membership. And without a certain critical mass, you don't have enough of an audience for a membership to be sustainable. And I know because when I first launched Bhakti Rose 4 years ago, I had a membership. Some of you might even remember it. It was called Bhakti Rose Collective, and it flopped. It was a fail because I didn't have the numbers. I didn't have the numbers to sustain it. I had to build up my audience first. And it's really only in the last 6 months that I've gotten to that sweet point where I've got enough people now that a membership is truly sustainable. So I don't recommend starting a membership until you've got a database or a social media following of at least a few thousand, because otherwise you'll be creating a lot of content. It's a lot of work and you won't have the numbers for it to be financially viable. So that's that. So anyway, back to Victoria Washington. So there I am. I've decided that I'm not going to do any more business trainings. I'm only going to do the Ayurveda trainings I want to do for this year. And then Victoria Washington, as if she could read my mind, as if she's like my own just personal private coach, launches a program about memberships. So I'm like, oh, of course I have to sign up for that. So I have signed up for that, which is beautiful. I'm so happy because I'd already set the intention very clearly that memberships were my big focus for this year. So it was a bit of a gift. It was like, oh, my mentor is actually running an entire program on just memberships. So Edwina's saying I manifested that. I feel like I did. So with all of that said, here's what's going to happen in Bhakti Business membership this year, just to kind of give you guys the heads up. I hope you're all going to stay with me for the year. As you know, you pay $50 a month. I have a feeling that amount will go up, but it will never go up for you. So just know that you're locked in at that amount. I'll never change that for you guys, your founding members. It might go up for others. I am going to open up this membership. I'm going to make it a lot bigger. So you're going to get a lot more for your $50. Bigger in terms of the amount that's offered, I mean. So I'm going to open up the membership to the public, I think. So not just for people who are graduating from the business program. And I'm talking about Bhakti Business now, not Bhakti Club, which is a whole other thing. But I'm going to have at least one session a month, which is only for graduates. So like this session now that we're doing is only for people that have been through the group program. So I'll probably have one session a month that's for people who are general business owners who want to be in my membership, and then another one that's only for people who've graduated the group program. And I'm also going to have a session a month, which is just for people who are using Kajabi, who've signed up through my affiliates. So that's already an expansion. We're sort of dividing up the membership a little bit. People who've done the group program, people who are using Kajabi, and people who are general, and that will be open to everybody. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm actually, not immediately, but at some point fairly soon, I'm going to close the WhatsApp group, because I think that it takes a lot of time and energy for everybody, and it's a lot to work through. And the feedback I get is that people feel low level, like they're falling behind a lot. So instead of the WhatsApp group, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another additional session, a monthly open forum, like hot seat coaching / come and share questions and answers and talk to each other, like a community forum, but I'll be there to kind of host and guide it. So it'll be like everything that comes up in the WhatsApp group condensed into 1 hour-long monthly session where you can ask whatever you want. You can submit questions in advance. You can show up and submit questions on the fly. It won't just be me answering your questions. It will be you guys all also jumping in and helping each other. I think that will be as the group grows, because I do plan to expand this group, the WhatsApp group's just going to get bigger and bigger. It's going to get more and more unmanageable. So I'm going to maintain the WhatsApp group for the group program, because that's only ever going to be maximum of 20 people. But for the membership, we'll do it as this hour of power, where we get to come and basically do what we've been doing in the WhatsApp group, but do it in an hour. And then the other thing is I've got a whole bunch of guests that I'm planning on inviting to come into the membership to share stuff with you, which I'm excited about. And in February, coming up quite soon, might be early March, depends when I get my act together, I'm going to run a 3-day intensive about business that you guys will all get for free. So one of the things I do in Bhakti Club is I do offer things that are paid for by other people for free for my members, which is a really great way of making sure you get value. Like, for example, over in Bhakti Club, I'm about to be selling, or I've just started selling, a $27 offering, which is the recordings from the Bhakti Women's Summit for this year. But Bhakti Club members will get that for free. And I'm going to start doing the same thing here in Bhakti Business, where when I'm offering little things that are either low cost or for the public, you'll get them for free, and you'll get the recordings for free without having to upgrade. So that's my plan for you and for us and for Bhakti Business and the membership for the coming year. I'm excited. I'm really happy that you're all here, and I want you to get a lot from it. And what I've been feeling in the group in general over the last few weeks, like leading into Christmas and now leading out into the new year, is a lot of, and I'm just going to call it completely honestly, because I don't believe in, we don't always have to be elevated all the time. A lot of flat energy. I feel like a lot of you have been struggling to really get traction and momentum. And not that you're not enthusiastic about your businesses or you don't want to do the work, but it's just felt quite draggy, like you're having to really pull yourselves through the next steps. Not all of you, but that's been collectively the energy I felt. So I really want today's session to be oriented around action and momentum. I want us to step into some momentum now. We're past January, we're past Christmas. The new year's in full swing, and I want to be here to support you into momentum. And I want to remind you that micro actions lead to more micro actions, lead to continuing to build your business. So don't do that thing where you put it in your head as like, oh, it's all too big and it's all too hard and I'm just going to put it all off till tomorrow because it feels overwhelming. Let's break it all down. And what's your next step? What's your next micro action? And as these micro actions build up, then your business will start to flow and you'll start to have a business that is income generating, which is, you know, one of the great goals of being in business is that we make money. So I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna invite you guys to jump in. I'd love to hear from you, how you're doing, where you're at, any thoughts you have about everything I just shared. If you want to, questions, we can dive into a little bit of one-to-one sort of hot seat coaching if that's helpful. Yeah, feel free to unmute yourself and jump in. Let's just do it. Don't be shy. Annika, do you want to tell us about the conference, the summit, the what do you call it? Convention, conference?
I don't know, what do you call it? It's got like stalls and facilitators. I just been calling it a festival, but it's not really a festival compared to what I've been to that's a festival.
Yeah.
So
That's nice.
yeah. Yeah, we'll just call it a festival. Yeah. Oh, that's a big thing. Yeah, it's going well in the sense like if you're in the festival, you would have seen a lot of communication from me last week. That's me knowing that I had Maya with me at work all this week and wanting to get it like all completely out of the way. And so this week is only like putting out fires and making sure like the Android can connect and that the event staff know what they're doing.
You want to just tell everyone, for those listening to the replay and those here who don't know what it is, because everyone might not know. I mean, I know, but yeah.
So it is we called it the Australian Yoga and Wellness Festival. It's got such a huge name. I remember saying like, let's just call it Australian. So it's like, this is for Australia. And it's in the Western Sydney Conference Centre, which is a new building, only built maybe under 6 months ago or something, across from Penrith Panthers. So it's the conference centre underneath a 5-star hotel. The hotel to hire out this conference centre is $35,000. The Pullman Hotel gave us a $20,000 sponsorship to encourage us to do it. So there's 3 of us doing it together, and we all put in the $5,000 each. Yeah, and I've learned a lot. I'm not sure if I will do it again because it took me a lot away from my business. And I love my business a lot. And, you know, it might be profitable, but for me to do it again, I will need to make a cut of, I think, at least $10,000 profit because I worked so bloody hard, you know. And the other 2 girls are like so happy to just break even. And I'm like, what? Like, that's not like, yeah, the time I spent away from my kids and staying up late and, you know, not working on my studio projects. Yeah, but I'm excited. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do it again.
How are your ticket sales?
We have sold 180 tickets so far. So that's good. With Ticketek, I will never use Ticketek again because you can't control, like Ticketek control everything, right? Panthers were pushing us to use Ticketek, but they take such a huge fee. I didn't realize till a few days ago that even though we're selling it for $77, people are paying $85 on Ticketek. And we only get $72 of that. And then on the day, if they need to purchase at the door, which lots of people plan to do, which is expected, they have to go into Panthers. So I'm really worried I'm going to lose that sale. So we're going to like just beg for forgiveness, not permission, and just sell tickets at the door through Square and hope that we don't get in trouble from Panthers.
Just do it. If you do it and then you can apologize afterwards, because it's not like you're not going to give them their cut. It's just you don't want to lose people.
Yeah. So because for them to go back into Panthers, that would literally be like a 5, maybe even 10-minute walk, like down an elevator, like all this stuff. No. And I was like, we can't be doing that. So that's, yeah.
These little things are the things you learn and then you tweak, and then maybe you don't do it every year, because every year is a lot. Maybe you do it every 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, like the Olympics. I don't know. But
Yeah.
you'll learn from this and you'll refine it. And next time you can really come at it from the lens of every element. How can it be profit making? You know, like that as a priority rather than just a sort of nice add in.
Yeah, yeah. I think the two other girls, like they're just happy to do it because it really helps promote their business. But
Yeah.
my business does its own promotion. Like, I don't know. I did love that I got to invite so many people that I know. It feels like all of Anika's friends are coming together and putting on a festival. So thank you for those involved.
And you can't underestimate the benefit of bringing people together in person. I noticed that
Yeah,
with my book launch recently. I nearly didn't do it because I was like, it won't really make much money. Book launches, you know, by the time I've hired the venue and someone to support me with setup and everything, it's not really a profit making thing. So maybe I shouldn't bother doing it. But actually, it was such a beautiful thing for community building and creating a buzz and just seeing people that I haven't seen for ages and being together. That does have a direct impact on your business, definitely.
yeah. I think it's cool that Nin Yoga is putting this together.
Yeah.
I think if I was to ever do it again, even though it is in Penrith, it would be cool if it was like not in like in the city somewhere, so I can like really. Oh, it would be. I don't know, but anyway, let's do the festival first and see how we go from there.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
job. And what about your next teacher training? When's that running?
I was going to, so in our last call, I said it would start in March, but I pushed that back till May because just with my capacity at the moment, I was like, I don't really want to have two teacher trainings overlapping each other. So this group graduates in April, and then the next one will start in May, but it'll be a different format again. And I'm thinking of changing it every 2 years back and fro. So right now, this one's Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then this next one will only be Sunday morning and twice as long. It really inspired me because you teach on Sunday morning. The students actually are really available at that time, which is great. Everyone seems to be really available at that time. Tuesday and Thursday is great in theory. Like I got a lot of enrollments and people saying how much they love it, but they are tired. They come from work and they are wrecked and they're like by 8 o'clock in the studio, they're like falling asleep. And I feel bad. Like, we have to like get all that stuck energy out. But yeah, I don't know. They say that they're fine, but you spoke to them. They're tired. Yeah. So Tuesday and Thursday every week is too much. So I don't know if I was able to do weeknight again, I would make it twice as long and only one weeknight, I think. So 3 hours a week, even though it'll be super long and that might be a bit of a downsell for some. I think it's just better learning wise for everyone.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Anika. Thank you. You're amazing. And the group of teacher trainees is so beautiful. Such a group of like beautiful students. It's a real credit to you. And I just want to like highlight for everyone listening to Anika, like this is such a good example of doing something, putting it out, not necessarily knowing or thinking that it's perfect, but then being willing to refine it and reiterate and do it again in a slightly different way. For those of you who feel stuck about like just taking action and putting an offering out there or doing the first steps in something, nothing's ever fixed in your business. It's always evolving. So, she's put her teacher training out. It's been successful, but she's got some tweaks. She's got some changes she'd make for next time. And same with the conference festival. And you've just seen me explain how my business is changing and evolving this year as well. Like they're not fixed entities. And I think we can get really stuck in this thinking of my business is just like, if I put something out there, it represents all of me and it's so heavy and it's like can never change. And it's just not like that. Like you can constantly be experimenting, but the point is that you've got to be in the arena to be playing the game. Thanks, my love. Who'd like to jump in next? Britt?
Yeah, sure. I've just relocated. Yeah, I've just had 5 days in the job that I work in, a co-op that's been a community for me for 5 years, has just finished, and I've just spent the last 5 days focusing on that. And this is the first day when I'm back in my business. So it's like, yeah. Anyway, sliding on in. So I am very close to launching my Sacred Territory program, which is a diary and a menstrual cycle tracking program with the diary included. And I have just sent the first copy off to be printed. So I haven't yet received it yet. Yes. So I'm like waiting to receive the hard copy. And then from there, I feel like I don't want to launch the program before I have it in my hands. There's something that just doesn't feel right about that. So I'm just sort of waiting. It's been like 5 days now, and I'm just waiting for Lulu to get it to me. It said that it could be anywhere between 9 and 24 days. And I'm like, did we print with the right company?
They're pretty quick. They
Okay.
say that because they cover themselves, but my personal, because I print Yoga of Birth with Lulu, my personal experience is they're pretty quick. They're covering themselves because of post, you know, like if the post is late, but they'll dispatch almost immediately.
Yeah, so
Australia Post is shockingly bad, though, I have to say. Like, I just sent out the books, Trust Yourself. Oh, that's a whole other conversation. I made the mistake of deciding to take on the shipping myself, which was so much work. I just did not, I don't know why I did that. But anyway, some of them took like 12, 13, 14 days to get there with Australia Post. So they're slow.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just in that waiting zone, and I'm getting ready really to launch. I've done my sales page pretty much, and I'd love to share it in the WhatsApp group and get all of your thoughts on it. It's like nearly ready. It's not quite finished. And I've set up 3 lives. I'm just like working out the launch program really from now on. And I've set up 3 lives. One of them is with Emma, actually. That we, just to, build interest and traction. And I'm definitely having a lot of wobbles in terms of self-worth. I'm just constantly daily having to feel all the layers of not good enough that in the past would have stopped me. So it's a real thing that I just noticed, like, it's amazing. It's really just sitting underneath it all. And if I'm not careful, it will keep on showing up. And, I think I did a Bhakti Club session for you on last week, and I found myself wanting to hear from you. Am I good enough? Like, how was the class? Like, I'm like needing so much external validation, and really it has to come from within. Otherwise, it's like constantly seeking it outward. So I guess I'm really trying to work with that at the moment. And, I've sort of set up all the things. Like, I've got my crystals, I've got my 15 crystals there. I'm, still would like to get a jar to put them in, so that when they do come in. But there's a part of me that still just doesn't believe I'm good enough to get 15 people. So that's what
Let's pause there for a moment, and let me ask you this, or help you in this way. And I absolutely believe that you are good enough. So let's just take that as a given. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're good enough, because you know that you are. You know that I think that you are. I mean, apart from anything else, I wouldn't invite you to come in and teach on Bhakti Club if I didn't think you were a great teacher. So yeah. What if, instead of thinking of it as being about you and whether you're good enough and what you're presenting, and it's about you as a person, think about the material, because the material that you're sharing is so powerful. Like, you are putting into women's hands content, material, education that is desperately needed. And I know that you believe that, and I believe that too. So instead of thinking about it's about you and you're putting yourself out there and sort of making it personal, I wonder if there would be a helpful reframe for you, which is about, I'm sharing this material that I desperately want to get into the hands of 15 women whose lives will be changed by it. So it's not about me. It's about literally taking them on this journey that is a transformational journey. It's not a fluffy journey. It's very concrete, and it's very, based in science and very practical action. And for the 15 women that come, it will have an impact on their lives that is, well, you'll see when you get the testimonials at the end, that is really life-changing. It's radical. So yeah, my invitation would be reframe it. It's not about you and whether you're good enough. It's about your sacred duty to share this information, to get it out there. And if you don't, these 15 women that are going to come into your program won't get that information, and they'll be, you know, staying in all the different things they're in right now that are dysfunctional and unsatisfactory for them in terms of their menstrual cycle. Is that helpful?
Yeah, I think that is a good reframe. Because it's not like I believe that I'm not good enough. It's a deep layer. It's accessing the unconscious, you know. So that's a wonderful reframe. I think that, you know, it's sort of just about where the mind is focusing, really. So, you know, when that comes up, it's just my mind needs to focus elsewhere, and that can be a nice place to put it. And yeah, I'm constantly reminded in intervals how important this work is. And just on the weekend, I was at a party actually, and a woman came up to me and said, you know, I've been following you on Instagram and asking me these questions, kind of wanting to join the program. And, you know, I'd never even known that she was in the background watching, and felt very comfortable at a party to share her intimate details about her womb with me. And I was able to help her in that moment as well, and hopefully, you know, encourage her to join the program. So yeah, it's just that they are just wobbles, and then, you know, affirmations every so often about like, okay, yes, this is right. So yeah, I think that is definitely a good reframe. I'll write it up. It's good to see it. But yeah, I was actually planning to launch tomorrow. That was going to be the launch day, but I really want the diary in my hand. And, you know, I feel like I can't start it without it. So it probably will be next Tuesday.
What if you launch tomorrow and you build anticipation through your launch and take us on the journey with you that you're waiting for the diary to arrive? So what if you start your launch with that, you know, like a beautiful post that says, I'm just bursting at the seams, waiting. I'm checking my mailbox every day. I can't wait to have it and to show it to you. And we'll be on that journey of waiting with you. And then when it finally arrives, you've got a very warm audience who can't wait for you to show it, rather than it just falls out of the sky, out of nowhere, and everyone's a bit surprised.
Actually, I think that's one thing that I'm learning how to do, is show more of the behind the scenes. I feel like I don't really like to do that so much. I like to show a finished product, but as you say, it's like a falling out of the sky situation.
Yeah, I'm feeling a newsletter and an Instagram post that sort of describes like a child waiting for Christmas morning. You're checking your mailbox every day to see when Lulu's going to arrive, and they've said it's between 9 and 20 days, and you know, each day the anticipation's building. And yeah, I'll leave it with you, but I am on your subscriber list, so I'll know if you take action or not.
Well, I'll definitely do that. I feel like I'm just not ready. Like I feel like I changed it to, like, I feel like I changed it to next week. So I feel like I'm totally not ready to launch tomorrow, but I will do what you're saying. I will start to share that more.
Don't think of it as launching, just think of it as warming up your audience.
Yeah. So even I just feel like, yeah, like sharing the but what is a launch exactly? It's making the sales page open, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is coming. Launch is when it goes on sale. Well, launch is the whole process, actually. It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But there's an important moment, which is when the cart opens, the sales page becomes available, and then the thing is on sale. You're not quite there yet. That's going to be next week. But for now, you can definitely be sharing this anticipation, which is an authentic experience that you're having with your audience. Like, why not share that energy of anticipation? It's perfect.
Okay, that's a great thing to do. The other thing that I was thinking of was I was thinking about doing something in person because there's a lot of people in my physical community that would want to get together with me. However, they don't have a book or a diary to look at really because it's the program with the diary. I'm not selling the diary separately. So I've sort of ummed and ahed about would there really even be a point to having a live in-person event, seeing
What
as
if
though the
you
program is
if you did,
online as
yeah,
well.
what if you did a live one and they get the online program as well for a price point that reflects that, like much cheaper? So how much is the online program?
So with the payment plan, it's 525, and with the without like in the one-time payment, it's 485.
Okay, so around 500. So if you did the in-person program for, like, let's say a price
Oh, it's
point.
not a program. Sorry, it's just an event. Just like
Yeah.
just a like kind of like your book launch, like an
So
event.
do the event. You don't sell the diary without the program. I personally, I mean, we've spoken about this. I think for now, at least, the diary is with the program. It's not a standalone item. And the reason I say that is because I think you'll lose sales in the program if you just sell the diary on its own, and people won't get the same level of care and support that they want and need as well.
Mm, mm.
Definitely do the event. You heard me just, oh, I think did you come in a little bit late? Because I was just
No, I
talking.
heard you say that. Yeah.
I very much advocate doing it. Just charge a small amount.
Yeah. So it's like an event that would be in a way celebrating this new offering.
Yeah, or you could call it introduction to, like if I was doing an event to promote Ayurveda Goddess, I would do an event called Introduction to Ayurveda. And I'd give some education and content, but it's almost like a teaser. And then you offer the offer at the event. People are very, very likely to sign up when they've just done an in-person event with you, like much, much more likely.
Yeah, I was thinking to do an online one as well, like an intro to online and an intro to in person.
Very good ideas, both of them.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay.
Thank you.
That's posted. I'm excited. Who's next? Who's struggling? I'd love to help someone who feels like they're really struggling at the moment. Who needs a little bit of support? Kirsten.
Yeah, pretty much what we said at the start. It sums it all up. Like what has been going on in the WhatsApp group is pretty much summing up where I am. And I know it's partly of the holidays as well, because especially with the school things, there's just not much happening. But I feel, and I was always going to write in the WhatsApp group, and then as soon as I thought about it, it came to me what I could do. But then I'm getting muddled up in what I can do in those kind of waiting periods. Like what can I do? And then those thoughts creep, I need to do other things because I'm not making any money off that yet. So I need to create other things. And because a lot of people, especially in the group, they're doing all these online things. And that is on the charts for me for later because, well, I also would like to have a part of my business be like run, not where I have to be physically present, but like it all gets muddled up. Like it's all gets so much and it gets muddled up. And I just like, and yes, it's like a big part is the holidays.
There's two things that I'll say straight away. First of all, I think for you specifically for your business, it is going to be December and January are going to be very quiet times, and you're going to have to factor that in every year and just know that and not feel bad or like things are failing because they're quiet, because you work with schools and they're just not busy times. So there's a blessing in some ways because you've got children, so at least you get to have that time off,
Absolutely. And I will be at the point where I can like just relax into that.
Yeah. This year is bad timing because you just
Mm-hmm.
started launching and then it came up. But I think for me, if I were you, it would be like December and January, I just blank them off the calendar. They're not going to be income generating. They're not going to be busy. It's just not the time for your business. And some businesses are like that. They're seasonal, and so that's just to know that season is your downtime. And you can use that time for planning and for creation and for, prepping, but it's not going to be sales time.
So I think that's where I'm a bit stuck with planning and preparation. Like I'm not quite sure what's going to come. So what am I actually planning for? Like,
yeah.
yeah,
The second thing I want to say to you is, and I'm, this is not just for you, this is for everyone. Once you've chosen the thing that you're going to offer and you've created it and you've set your price point and you've got it on your website, a very, very easy way to sabotage yourself, and I've done it, I'm sure many of you have done it, is to then think, oh, it's not quite the right thing, I need to create something different, or I need to be doing more, or I need to add something, or to second guess. And all it does is dilute your energy for the thing that you've created. So you've got, Kirsten, specifically, you've got a clear offering, a set of offerings, clear price point, beautiful website. You've done the work. You've just got to keep going. And I know I sound like a broken record. It's so boring. And it's similarly for Bryony as well. I mean, there's a few of you, like it's just Nikki, it's Emma, actually, most of you I'm looking at. It's like you've got the things, you know what you're doing. It feels a little bit stuck because the big sales aren't coming in, but that isn't an indication that you need to go out and create something completely different or do something different, or you haven't, or you need a new thing. You can create new things till the cows come home, but if you haven't got the audience and you haven't started the selling process, you've just got a bunch of things that aren't selling instead of one thing that's not selling. So, and I mean that with so much love. It's the work of the promotion, the launching, the getting it out there, the talking about it. And it may start small, it may not be huge numbers in the beginning, but it's that starting and then the not pouring your energy into second guessing. That's what I'm trying to say. Just not for at least a period of time. I mean, you've just had me say I gave Ayurveda Goddess and Yoga of Birth. They've run for 4 years. Now I feel like they're at the end of their natural life in this capacity, but in this particular format. That I'm sure I'll relaunch them in a slightly different way. 4 years is a good run, and I think at least 6 months of actively promoting something before you tweak it is good, but getting it out there first. Yeah, I do agree, for Kirsten, doing a camp type thing could be really valuable, but I think possibly not yet, because you've got to build up your audience first. That's probably later down the track. So Kirsten, just tell us right now, for next term, like starting very soon, have you got any bookings in at the moment?
I haven't got any bookings through my website. I've been to a school and they were really keen, and I followed up at the start of the holiday, or not followed up at the start of the holidays, but just before the holidays, I was meeting with a person from the school who is the well-being coordinator or something like that. And she was very keen. She said she'd get in touch at the end of the holidays. She gave me another email from another teacher who was interested for her classes. So I have sent an email already. Maybe that was a bit too early, because I mean, end of the holidays, that can be anything from last week to now. So I will be like today and tomorrow, I'll be following up again. They already said, obviously, there won't be anything in the first 2 weeks, because that's kind of settling in, and that's good for me as well, actually. So I'll be following up. That they were really keen. She said, she's going to she's going to sort it all out when they can slot me in and all that. But so yeah, but
okay, I haven't got. Hang on. What is the but? Because I feel the but in your energy as you're speaking, and there's no need for a but. You've got, they're keen, they want you. It's the timelines on.
I think it's more like what can I do? Like I haven't, and again, like usually I have a morning routine. The holidays like made it really challenging. Like things to manifested kind of thing. I feel like I could really do a lot more like that, but I find it really hard, especially because I can't visualize, because I can't, well, I suppose I can do energetically, but I'm one of those people, I can't, pictures don't come into my head. And I feel, like, I don't know, like, again, it comes to, I haven't done enough kind of thing. I'm not doing enough, like whatever. But then like Britt said, it's these under layers, and then I recognize it, and I stop myself and I said, no, it's all good. And then it just, going back and forth with those thoughts, and then recognizing it, and continuing, remembering everything you said in the past.
Yeah, no, good on you. I totally hear what you're saying, and identifying that that's happening, but then just keeping going, I would also suggest a phone call would be a really good idea. The name of that wellness officer or the person that's responsible, I would we're Monday today or tomorrow, because they're doing all their prep now. The teachers are in for the next 2-3 days, literally mapping out the whole year. Pick up the phone and put in a phone call and connect verbally with that person, and then follow up with email. Definitely, I would do that today or tomorrow. And then once you've got that gig locked in, which I'm sure you will do, then you can go back to your marketing strategy for other schools. You're doing enough. Let me tell you that you're doing enough. You're working hard. You're continuing on. You haven't given up. You're doing enough. And school holidays are ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount of time to have to care for children. I'm literally counting the hours down till mine go back to school. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Thank you. Keep us posted.
Thanks, Katie.
I'm just going to jump to Edwina's comments. Edwina just got back from India yesterday. We had such a great trip. It was so successful and fun. She is planning what her office will look. So she's in planning mode, particularly for Shakti Roadmap. She's also launching a podcast, which I'm really excited about, and reworking her lead magnets. I'm going to rework some of my lead magnets this year as well. So yeah, beautiful. Edwina's all planning and full of excitement, and had a bunch of time away from her kids and her family. So I'm sure she's full of excitement and energy and reinvigorated. Who would like to jump in next? Emma.
Yeah, so my plan was, toward the end of last year, I was going to launch a program, and it was going to be a fairly reasonably priced program, about $30-something. Anyway, at the same time, my Oracle deck publishing deal fell through, which I think some of you know about. So I sort of had to switch into a different direction and get back into sending off submissions to publishers, which Katie would know how kind of full on that is. Anyway, so I was just really determined, and I'm like, I just can't give up on this. I really want to get a publishing deal. I just felt self-publishing was it just felt a bit too hard, to be honest. So we got a publishing deal, which is very exciting. I know it's very exciting. So it's with a good UK publisher, and they've given us an advance, and it seems to be...
I'm so happy. It's so great, Emma. The power of persistence. My God, these publishing journeys are so hectic. Like,
it's so stressful.
It's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster, and half the time they don't get back to you. And I think I'd got to about 20 submissions, and I think I probably heard back from maybe less than half. And, it's a lot of work. Anyway, so now that is taken care of, I feel like I can actually get back to my business. So I'm planning on launching that little program in March. But what I saw, I just wanted to share, I guess, with the group, what I saw was I'd been procrastinating, basically. What I'd been doing was I'd been having this weird kind of focus on trying to build content, create blog posts and just focus on Instagram. And over Christmas, I just realized, what are you actually doing, Emma? This is the wrong focus. You are not doing anything to try and create income. And it was a very simple thing to see. It sounds like I'm a bit kind of stupid. So, do you know what I mean? I just was like, what are you actually doing here? And I think part of that is a little bit what Grit talked about. I think there'd been a bit of, perhaps underlying, there'd been a bit of fear, maybe, I'm not sure. But once I saw that, I kind of felt like I could see what I had to do, and that was focus on getting this program out there. So I've nearly finished the sales page, and there's some things that go with it, which I'm building at the moment. And I just realized I have to commit to that launch in March, and I really need to share that with everyone so I can be accountable. You can hold me accountable. And the other thing I felt I'd like to do is potentially write a book. And even saying that, I feel slightly like, you know, all that self-doubt comes in. But I just, yeah, I just feel that's something I'd really want to try and do. So that's something I'd like to do this year. I don't really know how to do that, but I will read your book, Katie, and hopefully I'll feel like I have more of an idea of how to put something together. I've got ideas coming and I'm keeping a notes file, and there's so yeah, it's just been a really good mind head shift. Yeah, simple seeing.
So excited for you. It's awesome. All on the right track. And yes, we're all here holding you accountable for March. Leonie Dawson has a really good Write Your Book in 40 Days course. I don't recommend you do it in 40 days, but you can do the course and it's really good. It will help you to figure out how to structure writing. And it's very, you know, like she always offers such good value for low price points. Are you in her membership thing?
Yes.
Yeah, then look in that course. You've got it in there. It's in there already. You already own it. So that'll give you a really good foundation.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done. I think we're going to run a little bit over. If you need to leave, it's totally fine, but I'd love to get to everyone who's here live. So Kat, Nikki, or Bryony. Kat.
Hello. Yeah, I was trying to think of what to share. I feel a little embarrassed because things have been very slow, excuse me, on my end. Kind of like late November, early December was a little crazy. Unfortunately, both my father-in-law and my husband's aunt were both diagnosed with cancer within a couple weeks of each other, and his mother also had very serious salmonella poisoning. So it kind of felt like things were a little chaotic for a little while because he was traveling back and forth to another state to kind of help with his family, you know, right before the holidays. So it was a little bit, I felt like I got kind of had to switch gears just to focus on, you know, holding down the fort while he was, you know, helping his family. And I kind of during that time saw my own health start to like really take a downward turn. And I thought it was kind of just stress related, but things didn't really get better after the holidays. And I just was sort of having increasing fatigue and you know, it's been interesting because I've been reflecting back on how much I was starting to really beat myself up about it, like starting to feel like, oh, like you're being lazy, you're making excuses for not just getting out of whatever is going on. Like you're just making excuses, you know, yeah, you're tired, but you just need to like push through it and get on with it and get back in the groove, you know, especially after the holidays and the kids we only get about a week break here for like Christmas and New Year's, and then the kids go back until we have about a week break in February. And I'm kind of sharing this story because it was interesting how hard I was becoming on myself. Like I was trying to take your advice, Katie, of, you know, try to do at least one little thing each day, but I was still feeling like, oh, you're not doing enough. And like, what's wrong with you? And, you know, just, you know, all like the negative stuff that you start telling yourself. But within the past couple weeks, I found out that I'm not severely anemic, but like pretty anemic. And that I also have like an ovarian cyst that's hemorrhaging that might have something to do with it. I've also, unfortunately, I've had migraines since I was a child, but I also haven't been able, because our healthcare system in the US is just kind of a mess. I haven't been able to get my injectable medication that I take for migraines covered since the first of the year. So I was already starting to have they were starting to get a bit worse at the end of last year. And now I've been off of medication for a month also. So I'm actually feeling a little bit better because I've started for maybe about a week and a half now, starting to do some supplementation to help with the anemia. And I also just did this like 5-day nervous system reset, which actually I'm starting to feel like I have a little more energy too. So I think maybe stress has been a factor. But I don't know, it just was like a good moment of reflection to think about like how much self-blaming that I was doing when I was actually having like a undiagnosed medical issue that I wasn't aware of, and kind of saying like, you know, yeah, this is probably stress related and it's my fault because I'm not managing my stress well enough and I'm making excuses and I should be able to, I'm a therapist, I'm a yoga teacher. I should be able to manage this and, do all the things that I'm supposed to be doing right now. So I just share that because I think sometimes it's good to have like a reality check of
Yeah,
like,
sometimes
yeah, sometimes there's like outside forces that are outside
genuine
control.
external elements that need tending to before you can focus on your business, and sickness health is right up there at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wishing you well, and
Thank
I'm
you.
sure I can speak for everyone saying that we're sending lots of love and support, and yeah, just knowing that sometimes we do have to pause and tend to children or family members or ourselves because there's something going on that just requires our attention, and we're not able to just we can't keep pushing forward all the time. Totally holding space for that for you.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I would say in good news, I feel like since my energy has gotten better, like this past week or so, I've been able to, I feel like I'm slowly getting a little bit back on track with some of what I need to be getting done. And I feel like my kind of optimism is returning, and I feel like I feel like I'm headed in a good direction now, which I'm feeling good about.
Beautiful. Anemia is so depleting. I've had mild anemia with all my pregnancies, but very bad with Leela. I ended up having an infusion, actually, an iron infusion, which was life-changing. I mean, I don't know your medical history, but I can tell you right now, if you're thinking of having one, for me, it was like I literally woke up the next day ready to run a marathon. Like it just completely changed the way I felt. So you might want to consider that if that's an option for you medically, but it's very depleting. You do feel, yeah. And tiredness, Uma said it in the session we had this morning in, I just did this fundraiser, What Would Love Do? And beautiful Uma Dinsmore Tully, who's a great elder teacher of Yoga Nidra, she said, radical rest is, it's like a political statement, like it's something that is so needed in our lives. And when you do feel rested, like she said, tired people make bad decisions, and tired people are hard on themselves and hard on others. And tiredness is actually like really, it's like so toxic. When you're really sleep deprived or really low in energy, it's very, very difficult to feel like a functional human being. So yeah, sending you lots of love, Kat.
Thank you.
Where are we? Nikki, or did we lose someone? I think we lost someone because we've gone over time a little bit. Yeah, just Nikki. Are you still with us, Nikki? Do you want to share, or you're
Bryony left as well.
Bryony left. There we go. I knew we'd lost someone. Thank you.
Oh, it was Bryony. Yeah, it was Bryony. I will be on video in a sec. Sorry, I am.
No worries.
Stay here, Days. Stay. Yeah. I'll just walk through. So hi everyone. It's great to hear everything. I really love the plans for the year as well. That sounds really good.
Oh, thanks.
I'm in the. Yeah, it sounds great actually. And I'm useless on the WhatsApp. Oh my God, I can't manage it. It's too overwhelming for me. So so I'm mid-launch. Well, I'm just about kind of coming through. Yeah, and I should probably be more kind of, I feel like I should be more kind of driven and all the rest of it, but I'm not. I'm feel quite relaxed about it. There's only 3 signed up, so I should be a bit more kind of, but I'm just not. Yeah, and there's still a week to go.
A week.
So yes,
I know. I can't remember who it was I was speaking to about this recently, but honestly, this phenomena of people signing up last minute, it's astounding to me. I don't know what's happening. It's happening so much in my business at the moment, and I'm hearing it from others too. Like this last hurdle push is so critical. So I would say if you've got a week to go, just keep going, because you'll be shocked at those last minute signups. It's really a thing.
Because I was thinking, because the early bird is gone now. Do you know what I mean? So the early bird went last Monday. So I was kind of like, is there anything else I can offer with it, or I just
You just
as
keep
is?
pushing, just keep going, I
Mhm.
think. And
Yeah.
reaching out to
Yeah.
people individually, definitely. If you've seen they're lurking and they're lingering and they're interested, I would definitely say do that. Like the odd direct message, a voice memo. Just, do you have any questions? Is there anything I can support you with in the decision, whatever? But yeah, the last minute, it's just a thing. It really, really is. And I'm seeing so many people, two things I'm seeing a lot of: people canceling a training because they don't think they've got the numbers, and then regretting it desperately because people came out of the woodwork at the last minute. That's happening a lot. Britt had that experience actually, but many others. And then just these last minutes, even with What Would Love Do, the fundraiser I've just done for Gaza, we raised $1,200 in the last 24 hours. I was about to take it down. I was like, we're done here. Like, I've been plugging this for weeks. 24 hours, over $1,000 came in. It's crazy. I think we're just all so busy and overloaded, and we intend to sign up and we forget, and last minute FOMO, and who knows. So yeah, absolutely.
And I was part of that actually, that last little donation there as well. And I've been meaning to put
you
your
were one of the
poster.
last minute people. I saw that. There you go. That's
I know. I was like, I've been meaning to do it for ages, and I was just like, oh my God, it's like it's ending. What the hell? So
Yeah,
and I've been wanting to do a post for ages. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've had no VA help, and I am like social media. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it's like I really need to sort that out. But it's okay. I've got Lauren helping me. I've edited that little video that I did on the sales page. I edited it in the end. I did the editing, and then that's kind of easier for me. And I started a YouTube channel, so I just kind of did that for fun, and I'm really enjoying that. And I'm just going to post a video once a week and enjoy it, and not feel this pressure. And I feel like really it's coming through this year because it was such a hard year last year, so hard in so many ways. And I did that massive clearing ritual with Suzanne Sterling. It was like 2 hours, really intense. And then I had to walk all the four corners of the property. And just did whole ritual, and it was very powerful. But it took me 3 hours to walk the property because it's so fucking big. So it was like, and I was like scrambling up like cliff faces and bush through bushes with the dog. Anyway, so that felt really good and very powerful. I mean, I won't go into it all, but there's a painting behind with an owl and everything that Greg gave me. Anyway, there's huge, quite spiritual, quite magical stuff happening there. Anyway, so I'm in launch. So anything else I can do?
I love your soft energy around launch. I love this, and I've been looking for more of this in myself. Like that we show up and we do all the things, but there's no energy of like fear or grasping. It's like because those two energies are the enemy of launching. Like for some of you it will be fear and it'll hold you back, and then others it will be a graspy energy of like, I've got to work harder, I've got to do more, I've got to make it happen, I've got to hustle. That's often my energy. And I've been experimenting with this in my own brain recently, the last few days myself. What if I just let that all go? What if I just, like, for example, I've got Bhakti Women's Summit coming up soon, and I've got low enrollments at the moment, and I think it's because we've been so focused on What Would Love Do. And I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't really got the numbers. Okay, and the old me, or there's a part of me even still that would be like, okay, I've got to push, I've got to make it happen. And there's another part of me that's in, the Nikki West mode, which is like, okay, Sarah, it'll come together. It's okay. If I don't quite get the numbers I want, the right people will show up. Like, just leaning into just feeling more chill about it. And then ironically, I know in my business, often when I do that, people come flooding anyway. It's a bit like, when you're teaching yoga, I know not all of you are yoga teachers, but many of you are. Have you ever had a yoga class where you feel so shit going, but you have to go and teach? Like, you've had a big argument with someone, or you're like tired or not well or something, you just have to show up, and you show up, and sometimes they're the best classes you teach because the true surrender is there. You're just like, I'm just showing up in my absolutely genuine human form right now. There's no like facade of anything. And somehow that's very magnetic. People love that because it's like relaxing. It's relaxing. So
yes,
yeah, I would say I love that.
Yeah, sorry. So it's important.
I love that energy for you. And I also think in terms of doing more, it's just keep reaching out, and particularly at this point, a week to close, reach out to anyone that's expressed interest directly. even in the past, you know, anyone that's like last year was interested, or a few months ago, or, you know, has been lingering around liking you a lot on Instagram, just direct message, you know. And for you, voice training, I'd say, sorry?
One Instagram post. I've only done one Instagram
Okay,
post.
do some more Instagram posts then, so that people can linger around. Yeah, go live on
for
Instagram.
sure.
Just go live and talk about it. Don't overthink it. Just hit live on Instagram and talk about it.
Okay, yes. See, I just don't know what I'm doing. So I've got the video.
Go onto Instagram, go live, and just talk into your phone for a bit about it.
All right. Maybe I'll do that on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
And then
I love the relaxed launch.
Yeah, but this year will be about that, and just kind of more. I'm doing a mastermind with the marketing, branding, the body that I'm with, and the coaching will be finished at the end of March, so I'll be certified then. So so this year
your energy feels very different. I feel your nervous system relaxation. Actually, it's nice. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you, Nikki. Bryony, you're lucky last.
Hello, welcome back from India.
Thank you.
Very exciting. And Nikki, I completely understand what you were just saying. When I'm hungover, or I'm tired, or I've been crying and I just feel like I cannot go into work, and I do go into work, I have the most profound connections with clients, and usually it'll be like tears and hugging, and there's something about that for sure. So I have emailed and called 115 different day spas. I have been rejected from majority of them. I've had 5 emails say thank you, but no thank you. One lady who I clung on to, she roasted me on the phone, which I completely understand, because you're so busy. The last thing you want is a sales call. I did go in to have a facial the day before yesterday at Indota, and what that did was really confirm to me that my program has a space. It was a disaster, and I will be meeting with Mel on the 12th of February, so I'll go in and have a talk to her, and I plan on having a couple more treatments to see like exactly where therapists are at. But I'm remaining optimistic. I've had some massive wobbles. I've felt like I just wanted to sleep all day. I've done that for 3 days where I just haven't got out of bed, and then the sun comes up and it's a beautiful day and you feel good again. So it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, I know I say this to you again, I sound like a broken record, but I so believe in your business and the market for it and the success of it. And I just feel you just have to keep going. And I've got to keep going. You've got to keep going, and you've done so much already. It's a bit like Emma with the publishing deal. It's just painful to watch, because it's like, come on, universe, now. Totally. We're ready. We're more than ready. I don't know, I'm just holding that space out for you. I don't want you to give up. I think, I agree. I think there's a huge place for what you're doing, and you only need, the thing about your business is you're only going to need to get that solid traction from 1 or 2 people. It will snowball. It's just getting the first few gigs. Just jumping that barbed wire fence. It really is. It's the J.K. Rowling effect. I mean, I don't know what it was. I think she got rejected by like 100 and something publishers. I know. Someone took Harry Potter. I always think of that. Like, just keep at it. Keep at it. You'll get there. I really believe it. I've got I'm tutoring the children. I've got a part-time job now at in the industry still, and I'm going to keep pushing on. But anyway, that's where I'm at. So well, we're all right behind you, and let me know how it goes after you meet with Mel. I'd love to hear an update. I will. And just the fact that you had a facial and that there are so many things you can highlight. Weren't good about it like that. Shocking. I would be writing about that too. Maybe write an email newsletter or an email that you could send out as a follow-up to some of the spas you wrote to, and say, like, a story-led email that's like, I went for a facial this week. These are some of the reasons why. Obviously don't name names, but these are some of the reasons why it was terrible. This is why the industry needs what I'm offering. This is what I see. That personal story element might be quite helpful. Yeah, that's true. And send that as a follow-up email. Yeah, amazing. Thank you. And I know that everybody's sort of feeling that. I'm not sure if you've been doing the same, Katie, with just feeling like down and low and just questioning everything about yourself. And so I feel everybody
who's feeling that, and the days will get better. It's
There's
just
a
the
lot
highs and
of
the
energy
lows.
around at the moment, a lot. And, you know, I feel like I actually felt a real shift with the last full moon. That the full moon that
Oh.
happened a few days ago was a big shift. And a lot of people were reaching out to me and saying they feel like the energy is starting to shift a little bit. So I think we're on the upward turn.
And I think the resistance to that, the negative emotions can compound everything, and you know, you get yourself into all sorts of trouble. So sending love to everybody, and thank you.
Same. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. One last thing I wanted to mention is that I'm transferring the membership portal into a proper Kajabi product rather than that landing page. It's almost done. So in the next few days, you'll get a login for that, and then you'll be able to go in, and it means you can use the app so you can listen to them more easily. You know, they're not just all on a landing page. Also means they'll be better organized in terms of like, that each post will have a proper description of what's in it. So if you're searching for particular things, you can find them more easily. So yeah, it'll be better organized and structured and ordered. It's coming soon. I'm just got to finish it off. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I'll let you know about the developments in terms of the new sessions and the WhatsApp group and everything. I'm just slowly get the kids back to school, get my act together, and then it'll all start unfolding. And meanwhile, I'm definitely available on the WhatsApp group, so feel free to keep using it for now, and I'm very much here for you in that space. Lots of love. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.